Let's look at text tutor, grammar and writing tutor. One of the things it offers to do is ask me to correct your sentences. So I've got a little composition here, and I'm going to ask for it to be corrected. Please correct this. And we'll see how it goes. I've taken the text from a picture, so there are lots of end of lines that are a bit strange there. I hope it'll sort it out. So there we are. It took only a moment really. So the corrected version, it says, the most important event that takes place in the book I've read, the 39 Steps, is how the protagonist goes from being a nobody in the first part of the story to having his whole life changed by a strange meeting with a man he didn't know. Unfortunately, it's using double asterisks before and after a word to highlight it, and this doesn't really work here. So after going through correcting the whole thing, it then gives grammar and vocabulary explanations. So here's a breakdown of the mistakes and why I corrected them. So takes in, and it should really be takes place. Your sentence, the most important event that takes in the book. No, the most important event that takes place in the book. So to take in means to understand something or to make clothing smaller. To describe where a story happens or when an event happens, we use the idiom to take place. And then the difference between live and life. Some preposition problems here. But as you can see, it's not easy to follow because of the markup with the double asterisks, and I suppose the 4 hashtags are to mark some sort of heading, but it's not being rendered as that. It's just there with the markup symbols. So at the very end it says, you did a great job summarising the plot. The reader can clearly understand the story. Focus on prepositions of place, on the floor, and breaking your long sentences into shorter ones to make your writing shorter. So that's quite nice. So I've now typed in, can you explain the differences between the prepositions in, on and at? I did make a typo there. Prepositions is missing an E, and there may be a comment on that. I'm not editing this because I want you to realise how long it takes. So this is one of the most common questions in English. The best way to understand in, on and at is to think of them as a funnel or a triangle going from general to specific. We use them for place, location and time. So with place, imagine zooming in on a map. In, general, big, enclosed, like countries, in England, in London, enclosed rooms, in the kitchen, in the apartment, books and movies, in the book, in the picture, in the water, so liquids, in the swimming pool. On, more specific, surfaces. We use on for surfaces, flat things or lines like streets, on the floor, on Main Street, the floors of a building on the first floor. But once again, you can see that it's using this markup with double asterisks, but it's not producing the word communications in bold. So it's quite long. And so the transportation rule, this is a special category that often confuses students. So in for small vehicles where you must sit down to enter, in a car, in a taxi. On for large vehicles where you can walk inside or stand up, on a bus, on a train, etc. And there's a quick quiz here. So based on the rules that I've tried to fill in the blanks, I'll put the answers below. Well, mustn't look at the answers. So the book is on the table. I was born in October. The meeting is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He's living in Paris. I'm sitting on the bus. Yeah, so on for a surface, in for months, general, at, clock, time, specific. Yeah, this looks very good. I think it will also help you with vocabulary. So, what does waste mean? Takes a lot more time. So, much longer explanation here. So waste is a very common word in English that can be used as a verb, an action, or as a noun, a thing. Here are the three main meanings. So it goes into quite a lot of detail. It talks about wasting time, wasting money, wasting food. And the expression, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, a complete waste of time. As a noun, it refers to trash or garbage, things you don't want, things which are thrown away. But it can be used in formal and scientific contexts too. Factories should not dump chemical waste into the river. Once again, you're seeing the double asterisks there to highlight the word waste, but it doesn't look so good when it only uses these markers. Pronunciation warning. So waste sounds exactly the same as waist, and waist, W-A-I-S-T, is the middle part of your body where you wear a belt. So it's a much longer explanation than in the quick vocab check.